Alrighty, so here's a little guide on how to make your Magic Road. So we go to Dashboard, create a route, open up our route. Let's say, oh, there's my house, good. Let's say we want to do just the Akuna Bay. Okay, so there's Akuna Bay start. So let's say we want to do it Scott's way. So just create your route. Yep, it's going to be fine. Right. Now we might need to bring these a bit closer actually. So these points have to be pretty close. I might just move the start around here. If you want to make a loop, you have to make them reasonably close, within 100 meters or so. Right, that's our route done. Save that. Akuna. Oh, why isn't it typing? Hello. There we go. Okay. Sometimes my keyboard has a massive delay on it, and that is happening today. Hello. This is not. Oh, yeah, there we go. Akuna Bay. Anti-clockwise. Save to my routes. Done. Alright, so now we export the GPX, and that comes in down here. Happy days. So the next one we do is we open a program that is called GPX Magic. Always good to make sure you're on the latest version, and it's sometimes hard to find. Load GPX file up here. And we want to load Akuna Bay clockwise GPX file. Open. Okay. So what you've got here is you've got map, you've got perspective. So that's the perspective of the Akuna Bay loop. You've got the rider perspective so that you can actually ride it. You've got a profile view where you can zoom in and out and use the slider down the bottom. Do that. You've got the plan. And then you got the route itself. So I always just use the map because it's easy. Right, these are your tools. What you can do, you've got point number and chainage along the route. So this one's a coarse tune, that's a fine tune. 0.00, so that we're at the start point, you can see there. That's great. So what I do, if you want to make a loop, you open this, I'll just close those two. You find here, start and finish. I want to make the track a loop, please. It is now a loop. Sorry, I like to have information open, because it tells me the length of the track, the ascent, the descent, climbing, descending, and the steepest. Steepest currently is 50%, which is a problem. So that's something we need to look at. So that's fine. Alright, so the next one we do is up here. It's called one-click fix. Now if you have a look, yeah, this is a good corner to have a look at. So you can see here it's going to be along here, and then it's going to do some really abrupt, crappy turns. So you go one-click fix, bang, nice smooth turn now. Beautiful stuff. And that fixes. What I'll do is I will find another corner. There's a corner here. You can see that's a nice smooth corner. If you do undo, you can see that is not as smooth. So you can see what it does. The one-click fix, pretty handy. The other tool that I use is called gradient problems. So we're finished with the start and finish. I leave that open, and I leave the essentials open. Gradient problems. So this will look for sudden changes in gradient across your entire map. And you've got the threshold percentage. So if you want to know if it's going from 5%, any greater than a 5% change. So say you're riding along at 2% and it suddenly changes to 7, which happens here. Now, we know that we've ridden this enough that there's no massive steps in it. So we've got this point, we can smooth these points. And so now there are no changes where it's got big steps, because our roads just don't have the big steps. Again, there's a 4% change, so where's, you just got to sort of have a look where it is. Nah, because that's Noel's Corner there where he went off into the bushes. And we know after Noel's Corner that there's no big changes there. So even, 3%, there shouldn't be any massive big steep like this. We know that there's a bit of a gradient change here, but it's not huge. So I just smoothed them all. Nice and smooth. Alright, so now steep climbs. Now, the threshold's already set at 3%, which we know that Kuna Bay is well over 3%. So let's move this to 10% as a good starting point. Now we know the bottom of the Kuna here, 10%? I don't think so. It might be 10, but it's no more. So smooth these points. So now we know that there is no climb on our map that is over that 10% gradient. And I always just check 9%. Yeah, a couple of those points would be 9 for sure. And obviously a lot of it is over 3%. Yes, absolutely it is. Steep descents, same thing. Always just check. Because I don't think there'd be too many of these points in the descent which are 9 and 10. 8% maybe. So I just smooth those out as well. GPX Magic sorts that. Go and have a look at your profile. And now you can exaggerate the gradient by doing this. 8% for 8 times. Right, so we know now down the bottom, this is obviously the exaggerated profile. This is the gradients from 0. So you can see this is downhill, that's flat, going uphill now, then it goes downhill again. As you can see, and there's the climb out, and you can see the climb out, right? Now we know, so I've just zoomed in using the center scroller. We know that, yeah, there's a couple of fairly steep points, but what are these? There's no 17% in there, right? So we click here, and we say drop the purple marker. And then we come to, say, here. So now, if you can see the road there, it doesn't do that. There's no section of road that does that. So, what we do here is we go to, I think it's, centroid averaging? No, that is not the one we wanted. So we undo that. Straighten up, no. Profile smoothing. So we want to smooth gradients, please. If we click the smooth gradient, no, that's ruined it. So you can see there, that's just done a massive dip in it. So we want to undo that. And oh, no. Alright, so now we need to come along till we find our climb again. Yeah, and you can clearly see there's plenty of bumps here which don't exist in the road. There's a couple, but there's nothing like this. So again, we come close here, we drop the purple marker, so we'll pick it up here. So we want to change it in between these points, and I cannot remember how to do it properly. By uniform gradient. Bumpiness, yeah, plus or minus 5%. There we go, that's it. And that Still keeps small undulations, which are there in any road surface. So profile smoothing, apply uniform gradient. Alright, so then we can come across down the hill, and we can clearly see that there's a couple of little steps here which just need to be ironed out. So we go lift purple marker, drop purple marker, and we can keep the bumpiness, 20%, even 50% of the bumpiness. Right, here we go, apply uniform, and you can see it just smooths it out really well. Life is peachy, because we know that there's no huge, there's no huge spikes that need to be in it. Alright, so let's call that done. Now up here, Okunobo clockwise. Yep, sure. So that's pretty much it. And what we can do, we can actually ride the whole thing. I'll show you quickly. So this is our track. And we can come in down here. We fly through. Now you can choose what speed. So let's say we're going to fly through it 30 km an hour. We're going to be here forever. Let's ramp it up. Let's do, 200 km an hour. Right, 200 kilometers an hour, this is what the road's going to be. Currently descending down McCar's Creek. And you're just looking for any really obvious bumps that just shouldn't be there. And then, as you realise, okay, it's pretty good, you can just ramp up the speed to whatever you want. 300 km an hour, 330 km an hour. Come to the bottom of McCar's Creek here, and we'll do a left turn, come up the hill. Still just looking for any massive bumps, Bump, no. Okay, so I'm getting pretty happy here. Around the corner, we're doing 400 km an hour, so we've got a fair bit of pace on. Kind of a little bit lost as to where we are, but that's okay. Oh, we're on the descent, coming through Noel's Corner. Right, there's a Noel's Corner here. Yep, down the hill we go. There's a little bump there, but it's never going to be perfect. Yep, we're down the bottom, next to the marina. Up the hill. Nice and smooth, look at that, it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Down the hill, past the guys fishing on the right there, around the box. Up, start the climb again. Around the hairpin. Up the hill we go. If only we rode this fast, that'd be great. Out corners, so you can see it's very smooth, like it is on the road. The surface, the road surface at Okunobo is pretty good. So up a little climb, right turn at the top, down the descent. Yep, pretty smooth. Alright, so they're coming towards the end. Going down the hill, and then they go uphill to the box. Bang, finish. Very happy with that. Excellent. Save GPX. So that is now saved as GPX, which, I'll just bring this across, which saves it to, I believe, my documents. Downloads for me. And there it is there. Okay. Open my email. It's my email. New email. Email to Magic Roads. Doesn't need a subject. You just simply click, drag. There it is, wait for it to load. Send. Alrighty, we're back. Now, normally we get an email that says, we've built your road. Great. I haven't received that yet. It's been 20 minutes, half an hour, which is unusual. Normally it takes 5-10 minutes. So, click over here, and what I type is user at rgtcycling.com. Now you'll have to sign into this somewhere, because you're a premium member, you can. So, we want to go and create an event. Yes please. What would you like to do, a race or a group ride? I'd like to do a race please. The difference between a race and a group ride is the group ride, the bots aren't as aggressive, I guess. So this is your railroads. Obviously we want magic roads, and these are all the magic roads in my library. You can see I've made quite a few. And what do we want? We want a Kunave clockwise, anti-clockwise, and it's called number 1 because that's what the file is called. So whatever you name the file is whatever your magic road becomes. Okay, so we want to have it today. So we set the time, the date, and the time. Let's just move it a couple of minutes so that we've got time. 1 lap. You can change the title. Promoted or private. If you set it to private, no one will see it. If you set it to promoted, people can see it once you get over 20, which is pretty ambitious. So let's bring in some bots. So this is where things get a bit more interesting. We've got pacing bots, which will do the pacing bots will go at your prescribed wattage. So for me, my FTP 292. So the most powerful bot is going to ride at my FTP, and the weakest bot's going to ride just below. So they will sit on their watts per kilo up and down the hills. Doesn't matter. I think once it gets over 5% down the hill, they back off. I've never really played with them. I always like to use real bots. Beginner, which does your 1 watt to 2.2. Intermediate does 2.2 to 3.2, and your expert does 3.2 to 4. I normally ride with expert bots, intermediate to expert. Select your number. I like 99 bots because I like all my mates. Or you can go custom, and you can tune whatever you want. You know, some riders might not be 292, they might be 400. I think 350 is the max, so careful. 350, and they might be 320. Who knows? So I normally, so for a normal RGT race, RGT Australia race, I would set them at 310 to 270 for A grade, A and B grade, and I think I do about 240 to one. So this one here, 190. I think I do this one at about 240, and this is all based on my weight of 85 kilos. So it depends on your weight. Advanced options, I generally don't play with these too much. You can do classic, spring in Europe, time trial or elimination, drafting on and off, mass start on and off. So you go mass start off, and you can change the release gap of the riders if you want to spice it up a bit. Create event. That is now created, and you can see that is the course profile. And you can clearly see there's no major bumps or anything in it now, which is great. Okay, and that is happening in 7 minutes. Alright, we're back. So we've started our event. We've gone in and we've found our event on our RGT screen. If we have set this at a short time, this ride now button will be blanked out. You can't press it, but obviously you can. So we ride now, please, and please load. Don't be a knobhead. That's good. Preparing scenery. This is good. So you're just watching what's happening here, making sure it's actually working. Oh, fantastic. So we've obviously got our cameras. And now I've just gone and pressed Shift F6, which takes you to spectate mode. Now obviously my man is not going to move, so we do page up and we go on to someone that is going to move. Let's go up the grid. Oh. Alrighty, here we go. 5, 4, start pedaling. Oh, someone's off. Make our way to the front. Here we're now going down McCarthy Creek Road. And a bunch will start forming shortly. These guys are all going to join up because we're doing 70 k's an hour, which is not unrealistic down the hill if you're pedaling. Beautiful. And that is how you make your magic road. And one way you can test your magic road is putting the pacing bots in. If you go pacing bots, you can actually have them at 999 watts, so they'll do 70 k's an hour everywhere. So that's if you really want to test it. But for the purpose of this is how I make them.